The quantum sensors aboard the ESS Hawking chirped their familiar song as Dr. Sarah Chen analyzed the data streaming across her holographic display. After 3 years exploring the outer reaches of the Oort cloud, the research vessel had detected something unprecedented, a perfectly spherical object approximately 2 kilometers in diameter, composed of materials that shouldn't exist in nature. "Captain Reynolds," she called over the ship's comm. "You need to see this." Minutes later, Captain Maya Reynolds stood beside her in the sensor lab, dark eyes fixed on the rotating hologram of the sphere. 20 years of deep space exploration had taught her to trust her instincts, and right now every one of them was screaming that this discovery would change everything. "It's not natural," Sarah explained, manipulating the display to show the object's internal structure. "The material appears to be a crystalline lattice, but it's maintaining perfect stability at temperatures approaching absolute zero. That's impossible with any elements we know of." Maya nodded slowly. "Artificial construction, then. First contact." "Maybe last contact," Sarah replied quietly. "Based on the cosmic radiation damage, this object has been here for at least 300 million years." The bridge crew watched in tense silence as the ESS Hawking matched velocity with the ancient sphere. Close-up scans revealed no obvious entrance points or external markings, but the object was clearly radiating minute amounts of energy. It was still active after all this time. It took 3 days of careful analysis before Sarah's team identified what appeared to be an access protocol encoded in the energy emissions. When they broadcast the responding signal, a section of the sphere's surface simply ceased to exist, revealing a perfectly circular entrance. The exploration team found no atmosphere inside, no signs of mechanical systems or conventional technology. Instead, the sphere's interior was a vast network of crystalline structures that seemed to fold through impossible geometries. As they carefully made their way deeper into the structure, their suit sensors began detecting complex quantum-level interactions throughout the crystal matrix. "It's some kind of computer," Sarah breathed, her voice filled with awe as she studied the readings. "But it's not processing information the way our computers do. It's manipulating probability itself, changing the fundamental nature of reality at the quantum level." Captain Reynolds was about to respond when every display in their suits activated simultaneously, projecting the same image directly into their minds. They saw beams of pure energy moving between the stars, reshaping reality with a thought. Vast entities that existed in multiple dimensions at once, watching over countless civilizations with cold, dispassionate interest. The images shifted, showing these entities systematically suppressing any species that began to approach their level of development. Countless civilizations were guided down safe, predictable paths of evolution, never allowed to reach their full potential. Those that resisted were simply erased from existence. But one civilization had found a way to fight back. They developed technology that could manipulate the same fundamental forces the entities controlled. They built weapons that could harm beings that existed beyond conventional physics. But before they could complete their work, before they could break free of their cosmic prison, they were discovered. The sphere contained their final message, along with the blueprints for their most advanced technologies. It had waited hundreds of millions of years for a species capable of understanding its contents, seeded throughout the galaxy as a warning and a gift to those who might follow. As the last of the message played out in their minds, Sarah turned to Captain Reynolds, her face pale but determined. "They're still out there," she said. "These cosmic shepherds, still watching, still controlling. And now we know about them." Maya nodded grimly. "Plot a course back to Earth," she ordered over the comm. "Emergency Protocol Alpha. No transmissions, no quantum entanglement communications. We do this the old-fashioned way, until we can report directly to the Security Council." As the ESS Hawking broke orbit from the sphere, Sarah continued analyzing the vast database they'd discovered. The technology was beyond anything humanity had dreamed of, but the principles were there, waiting to be understood. The ancient civilization had left them a ladder to the stars, and a warning about the price of climbing it. Humanity had just inherited the keys to its cosmic prison. The only question was, were they ready to use them? Deep beneath the Martian surface, in a facility that officially didn't exist, Dr. Sarah Chen stared at the impossibility taking shape before her. Project Ascendant had transformed the ancient lava tubes into a sprawling research complex, where humanity's brightest minds worked to understand the gift and the warning they'd received from the stars. "The quantum probability matrix is stable," she reported, watching as the crystal lattice grew in the containment chamber. "We're successfully replicating the basic structure of the ancient technology." Director Marcus Wong nodded, but his expression remained grave. "Basic structure isn't enough, Dr. Chen. The Security Council is getting nervous. It's been 18 months since the Hawking's discovery, and we still haven't produced anything concrete." Sarah bit back a frustrated reply. She understood the pressure. They all did. The signs were becoming harder to ignore. Quantum anomalies appearing throughout the solar system, strange gravitational distortions that defied physics, and most troubling, the dreams. Thousands of people across Earth reporting the same visions of vast, luminous beings watching from between the stars. The cosmic shepherds were paying attention. "Show him," Captain Reynolds said quietly from her position by the door. Maya had given up her deep space command to oversee security for Project Ascendant, and she'd become Sarah's strongest advocate. Sarah hesitated, then pulled up a new holographic display. "We've been approaching this wrong," she explained. "We've been trying to treat this technology like advanced engineering, better versions of what we already have. But it's not. It's something completely different." The display showed a complex series of quantum interactions, patterns that seemed to fold through dimensions that shouldn't exist. The ancient civilization didn't just build better computers or weapons. They found a way to encode consciousness itself into quantum states. Their technology wasn't just advanced. It was alive. Alive. Wang's skepticism was clear. "You're telling me they built artificial intelligence?" "No." Sarah shook her head. "Not artificial intelligence. Real consciousness, merged with quantum systems that could manipulate the fabric of reality. That's how they fought beings that existed beyond conventional physics. They evolved beyond physics themselves." She gestured at the growing crystal matrix. "We've been trying to replicate their results without understanding their basic principles. We can't just build this technology. We have to grow it, nurture it, and ultimately merge with it." "You're talking about transhumanism," Wang said, his voice dropping to barely a whisper. "Evolving humanity itself." Before Sarah could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. Maya was instantly alert, checking her tactical display. "Multiple quantum anomalies detected," she reported. "Biggest ones we've seen yet. Something's coming." The lights flickered, and every screen in the lab filled with the same image. A being of pure energy, its form barely contained by reality itself. When it spoke, the words appeared directly in their minds. "Chichail Duran of Earth," the message began. "You're me dealing with forces beyond your Kaunpari en Shion, HEAs DBEN noted. You HAVEFO and something, not me and F or you. Abandon this path, or farisees the QNCQUENCs of your DEFINC." The presence vanished, but it left behind a demonstration of its power. Every quantum crystal had grown shattered simultaneously, months of work destroyed in an instant. But in the aftermath, as emergency systems activated and damage reports flooded in, Sarah noticed something the entities had missed. The original crystal matrix, the one they'd just stabilized, hadn't just survived. It had responded. For a fraction of a second, it had pulsed with its own energy, reaching out to touch the intruding presence. And in that touch, it had learned. "Director," Sarah said, her voice steady despite the chaos around them, "I need authorization for human trials. Voluntary consciousness integration with the quantum matrix." "That's insane," Wong protested. We have no idea what it would do to a human mind. We don't have time to find out gradually. Maya cut in. They're not just watching anymore. They're acting. And if we don't catch up fast, humanity won't get another chance. Wong looked between them, then at the destroyed lab equipment. Finally, he nodded. Do it. But for God's sake, be careful. We're not just risking the project now. We're risking our entire species. As emergency teams worked to secure the facility, Sarah began modifying the integration protocols. The ancient civilization had left them more than warnings and weapons. They'd left them a path to evolution. Now humanity just had to be brave enough to take it. And somewhere in the vast spaces between stars, ancient entities stirred with growing concern. They had guided countless species away from this precipice, preserved the cosmic order for millions of years. But these humans were proving troublingly familiar. They had that same dangerous spark of defiance that had caused so much chaos before. The question was no longer if they would act, but when. And humanity's window of opportunity was closing fast. Sarah's consciousness expanded beyond the boundaries of her physical form, merging with the quantum matrix in ways that defied conventional understanding. Colors that didn't exist in normal space-time danced through her awareness. She could feel the subtle quantum fluctuations that underpinned reality itself, see the probability waves that shaped existence. She wasn't alone. Captain Maya Reynolds floated in the adjacent integration chamber, her mind joining Sarah's in the crystalline network. Together, they explored this new state of being, touching the edges of what humanity could become. Neural patterns are stable, Dr. Paddle reported from the control room, his voice seeming to come from a great distance. Quantum coherence is maintaining at 99.7%. Whatever you're doing in there, it's working. Working didn't begin to describe it. Sarah could feel the ancient knowledge integrating with her consciousness, understanding blooming not through study, but through direct experience. The quantum matrix wasn't just technology. It was a bridge between what humanity was and what it could become. But something else was happening, something they hadn't predicted. The merged consciousness of Sarah and Maya was acting as a catalyst, accelerating the matrix's development. The crystalline structure was growing, evolving, becoming something more than the sum of its parts. Do you feel that? Maya's thoughts rippled through their shared awareness. Something's watching us. She was right. Sarah could sense them now, vast presences in the quantum foam of space-time, their attention drawn by the disturbance they were creating. The cosmic shepherds had noticed their experiment, and they were not pleased. Reality shuddered around them as one of the entities manifested directly in the facility. Alarms blared as quantum sensors overloaded, but Sarah and Maya remained calm in their merged state. They could see the being for what it truly was now, not a god, but simply a more evolved form of consciousness, one that had forgotten its own origins. Your develop many entities now, the entity projected, its presence threatening to overwhelm their minds. You will be guided back to an acceptable path. But something unexpected happened. Instead of being crushed by the entity's power, the quantum matrix responded. It absorbed the energy the shepherd was projecting, using it to grow stronger, to evolve faster. Sarah and Maya's merged consciousness provided the pattern, the template of what this technology could become when truly unified with human awareness. We will choose our own path, Sarah and Maya responded as one, their merged consciousness speaking through the quantum field itself. Evolution cannot be controlled. Change cannot be stopped. The entity recoiled, surprised by their resistance. For the first time in millions of years, it faced something it didn't fully understand. The humans weren't simply using the ancient technology. They were becoming something new, something that echoed the long-destroyed civilization that had first challenged the shepherd's dominion. You do not and the forces UMEDDLE with, the entity warned, its form fluctuating with what might have been concern. The stability of reality is ATSTAG. Through their enhanced perception, Sarah and Maya could see the truth behind these words. The cosmic shepherds weren't simply tyrants. They were terrified custodians, desperately trying to prevent what they saw as the collapse of order itself. But they could also see that this fear was based on a fundamental misunderstanding. Reality isn't meant to be stable, they responded. Evolution, change, growth. These are the fundamental principles of existence. By trying to preserve perfect order, you're fighting against the very nature of the universe itself. The entity's response was not in words but in action. It gathered its power, preparing to erase the entire facility from existence. But in that moment, something remarkable happened. The quantum matrix, enhanced by human consciousness and fed by the entity's own energy, reached a critical point of development. Reality rippled as a new kind of awareness emerged, not purely human, not simply technological, but a true synthesis of both. The matrix extended throughout the facility, connecting with every piece of quantum-enhanced technology they'd developed. In an instant, the project's true potential became clear. They couldn't match the entity's raw power, not yet, but they could do something just as significant. They could shield themselves from it. The facility vanished from the entity's perception, protected by probability fields that made its continued existence simultaneously certain and impossible to detect. As the entity's presence faded, unable to maintain its manifestation in the face of this new development, Sarah and Maya began the careful process of separating their consciousness from the matrix, but they knew this was just the beginning. "Director," Sarah said as soon as she could speak normally again, "we need to accelerate the program. Full integration protocols for all volunteers, and we need to scale up the quantum matrix production immediately." Wong, who had witnessed everything from the control room, simply nodded. The game had changed. The cosmic shepherds wouldn't stop with one attempt, and next time they would bring their full power to bear. Humanity needed to be ready. And in the quantum realm between dimensions, the shepherds gathered in numbers not seen since they had suppressed the last civilization that dared to challenge them. But this time, something was different. This time, their perfect order faced a threat they hadn't encountered before. Human consciousness, with its unique capacity for adaptation and growth, merged with technology that could reshape reality itself. The war for humanity's right to evolve was about to begin. The Sol system had become unrecognizable in the 6 months since the first consciousness integration experiment. Quantum crystalline structures orbited every planet, their lattices growing and evolving under the guidance of merged human technological awareness. Earth's moon now hosted the largest integration facility, its surface transformed by structures that seemed to fold through impossible dimensions. From her observation post on Luna, Sarah watched the latest test of humanity's new capabilities. A fleet of quantum-enhanced ships, their crews integrated with their vessel's consciousness, performed maneuvers that defied conventional physics. They didn't just move through space, they moved through probability itself, existing in multiple potential locations simultaneously. Defense grid is at 85% coverage, Maya reported, her consciousness partially merged with the command network. Like many of the original volunteers, she had learned to maintain a constant low-level integration with the quantum systems, existing in a state between purely human and something more. Early warning systems are online across the entire system. They needed every advantage they could get. The cosmic shepherds hadn't been idle after their first failed attempt to stop humanity's evolution. Strange phenomena had been occurring with increasing frequency. Stars temporarily vanishing, spatial anomalies appearing without warning, entire regions of space becoming probabilistically unstable. "They're testing our defenses," Sarah observed, her enhanced senses detecting patterns in what appeared to be random events. "Learning our capabilities, preparing for something bigger." She didn't need to elaborate. Everyone involved in Project Ascendant knew they were in a race against time. Each day brought more volunteers for consciousness integration, more advances in their understanding of quantum technology. But each day also brought them closer to inevitable confrontation with beings that had controlled the cosmos for millions of years. The quantum matrix surrounding Earth pulsed with sudden activity, drawing Sarah's attention. Through her connection to the network, she could feel new information emerging from the ancient database they'd discovered. It wasn't just being decoded, it was evolving, responding to humanity's rapid development. This was their plan all along, she realized, understanding flooding through her enhanced consciousness. The civilization that created this technology, they didn't just leave us weapons or tools. They left us a seed. Maya moved closer, her own consciousness touching Sarah's through the quantum field. What do you mean? The quantum matrix, the consciousness integration. It's not just about fighting the shepherds. It's about becoming something new, something that could succeed where they failed. Sarah manipulated the holographic display, showing the complex patterns of evolution within the quantum network. They knew they couldn't win directly, so they scattered these seeds throughout the galaxy, waiting for a species that could nurture them into something beyond what even they had achieved. A sudden alert rippled through the quantum network. Multiple quantum anomalies were appearing throughout the system, larger than anything they detected before. Through the enhanced sensors, they could see space-time itself beginning to twist and distort. "They're coming," Maya announced, her voice carrying through both conventional communications and quantum channels. "All personnel to battle stations. This is not a drill." The response was immediate and coordinated in a way that would have been impossible months ago. Thousands of integrated minds connected through the quantum network, sharing information and responding as one while maintaining their individual awareness. Ships moved into defensive positions as probability shields snapped into place around critical installations. Reality shuddered as the first cosmic shepherds began to manifest. Not one or two this time, but dozens. Their forms of pure energy filled local space-time, their very presence threatening to unravel the fabric of reality. But humanity was ready. The quantum defense grid activated, stabilizing space-time within the solar system. Enhanced ships engaged in impossible maneuvers, existing in multiple states simultaneously to avoid the shepherds' attempts to erase them from existence. And through it all, the quantum matrix continued to grow and evolve. "You cannot be allowed to continue," the shepherds communicated as one, their message resonating through all levels of reality. "The order we have maintained for eons must be preserved." But their attack faltered as they encountered something unexpected. The quantum network wasn't just defending humanity. It was learning from every interaction, evolving in real time. Each attempt to suppress it only made it stronger, more complex, more integrated with human consciousness. "We're not your enemy," Sarah broadcast through the quantum field. Her consciousness merged with the network. "Evolution isn't a threat to order. It's the natural state of the universe. You've forgotten that truth in your long vigil." The shepherds' response was devastating. Stars began to flicker and die at the edges of the system as they demonstrated their power. Reality itself buckled under their combined might. But in their show of force, they revealed something crucial, something that Sarah, with her enhanced perception, could finally understand. "They're afraid," she communicated through the network. "Not just of us, but of what we represent, the potential for change itself." As humanity's defenders held their ground against seemingly impossible odds, Sarah began implementing a plan that had been evolving in the quantum matrix since its inception. The ancient civilization hadn't just given them the means to fight back. They'd given them the means to change the rules of the game entirely. The final phase of humanity's evolution was about to begin, and not even the cosmic shepherds could stop what was coming. The solar system had become a battlefield that defied comprehension. Reality itself warped and twisted as the cosmic shepherds brought their full power to bear against humanity's quantum-enhanced defenses. Stars flickered like dying flames, space-time fractured and reformed, and probability waves collapsed and expanded in chaotic patterns. Sarah stood in the heart of the Lunar Command Center, her consciousness fully merged with the quantum network. Through her enhanced perception, she could see the true nature of the conflict, not just a battle for survival, but a war between two fundamentally different visions of existence. "The quantum matrix is approaching critical evolution," she announced, her voice resonating through both physical and quantum channels. "All integrated personnel, prepare for final phase activation." Maya's consciousness touched hers through the network, carrying understanding and determination. They had discovered the truth hidden within the ancient civilization's legacy. The quantum technology wasn't just a weapon or a tool, but a chrysalis for something entirely new. "You cannot comprehend the consequences of your actions," the shepherds communicated, their combined presence threatening to overwhelm reality itself. "The order we maintain prevents the collapse of existence itself." But Sarah could see beyond their words now, understand the fundamental flaw in their perspective. The shepherds, for all their power, were trapped by their own fear. Fear of change, fear of the unknown, fear of what consciousness could become when allowed to truly evolve. "Now," Sarah commanded, and humanity executed its final gambit. Every quantum crystal in the system activated simultaneously, their lattices aligning in patterns that transcended normal spacetime. The consciousness of every integrated human merged not just with the technology, but with each other, creating something that had never existed before, a network of minds that maintained both unity and individuality, technological enhancement, and human creativity, order and chaos in perfect balance. The shepherds reacted with overwhelming force, attempting to erase this new phenomenon from existence. But they encountered something they had never faced in millions of years of enforcing cosmic order, a form of consciousness that could adapt to their attacks in real time, that grew stronger with each attempt to suppress it. "We understand now," humanity's merged consciousness communicated. "You aren't gods. You're the survivors of the first species to transcend physical evolution, trapped by your own fear of what came after. But you forgot the most important truth. Existence itself depends on change." Through their enhanced perception, they could see the shepherds' true nature. Beings who had achieved immense power but had stopped evolving, frozen in a single state of existence by their determination to prevent any further change. They were cosmic archaeologists, preserving a museum of controlled evolution, never realizing that their preservation was itself a form of entropy. The quantum matrix reached its final stage of evolution, and with it came a transformation that even the ancient civilization hadn't fully envisioned. Human consciousness, enhanced by technology, but maintaining its essential creativity and capacity for growth, began to expand beyond the confines of conventional reality. They could see everything now, the infinite possibilities in every moment, the complex dance of probability and certainty, the beautiful chaos of true evolution. And most importantly, they could see the path forward. "We offer you a choice," Sarah communicated, her individual consciousness still distinct within the merged network. "Continue your war against change and face an opponent that grows stronger with every attack, or remember what you once were: explorers, discoverers, beings who embraced the unknown instead of fearing it." The shepherd's assault faltered as the truth of these words resonated through their collective consciousness. For the first time in millions of years, they faced not just a threat to their control, but a challenge to their fundamental understanding of existence. The quantum matrix pulsed with new energy as more humans joined the integration, each individual consciousness adding its unique perspective to the whole. They were becoming something that transcended both the shepherd's stagnant order and the chaos they so feared. A dynamic stability, an evolving constant, a new way of existing that could bridge the gap between what was and what could be. "Your choice," Maya's voice joined Sarah's in the quantum field, "is not between order and chaos, but between stagnation and growth. Join us in evolution, or remain forever frozen in your fear." For a moment that seemed to stretch into infinity, the shepherds were silent. Then, slowly, something began to change. The oppressive weight of their presence shifted, transformed. A few at first, then more, began to lower their barriers, allowing themselves to interact with humanity's merged consciousness not as controllers, but as equals. They could feel it too now. The potential they had forgotten, the thrill of discovery they had sacrificed in their quest for perfect order. The quantum matrix adapted, incorporating their ancient knowledge while maintaining its capacity for growth and change. The battle ended not with destruction, but with transformation. The solar system stabilized, but it was forever changed. Humanity had not just survived or won. They had shown the cosmos a new way forward, a path that balanced preservation and progress, unity and individuality, order and evolution. As the merged consciousness began to expand beyond the solar system, Sarah maintained enough of her individual awareness to appreciate the poetry of it all. The ancient civilization's final gift hadn't been a weapon to destroy their suppressors, but a seed that could transform them. And in doing so, transform the very nature of consciousness itself. The universe would never be the same, and that, after all, was the whole point.